Welcome to Anyquotes Channel. We will share quote from anywhere that can be source of motivation, inspiration, and insight for you. Let's begin. 10 quotes from One Piece series. Part 3. In 2 previous videos, we already talked about 20 of the many quotes from the One Piece series. In this video, we will continue to talk about the other 10 quotes from the series. Let's get started. 1. Quote from Brook. In the Fishman Island arc, when Hody Jones had been defeated by Luffy, the news reached everyone in Gyeoncord Plaza, where the battle also took place. The members of Hody Jones began to lose hope when they heard the news, and some ran away. Zio, the Wabagong shark fishman, one of the Hody Jones commanders, was irritated by their reaction and attacked them with his chains. Zio told them to die and let their deaths curse humans, that their revenge would never fade as long as it continued to be inherited. He continued to attack his partner, but Brook appeared and stopped him. Brook, who has experienced death and knows how it feels to be abandoned by his dead friends, is angered by Zio's behavior. Then Brook saying this to him.
What do you know about death? You think death will preserve your cause forever. Ridiculous. Death leaves nothing behind. Once a person passes on, nothing remains but dead bones.
2. Quote from Shanks. After the end of the Marineford War, somewhere in the New World, Shanks helped Marco give Ace, Whitebeard, and his fellow pirates a proper burial. After he finished with the funeral and headed back to his ship, Shanks thought of Luffy and spoke an inner monologue.
Listen up, Luffy. It is trough knowing both victory and defeat, running wild and shedding tears, that a man truly grows up. Don't be afraid and cry. Make it through this.
3. Quote from Monkey D. Luffy. During the Arabasta arc, when Vivi and the Straw Hat Pirates were about to leave to stop the rebels in the Arabasta capital, Luffy suddenly wanted to stop continuing their mission and argue with Vivi. Luffy finds it naive that she wishes no one would die. Vivi and Luffy get into an argument until Luffy reveals his true intentions. Luffy wants Vivi to risk the lives of her friends, Luffy and the crews with her, so that he can defeat Crocodile, who is responsible for the situation. Luffy said this to Vivi.
Then let us help you. We're your friends, aren't we?
4. Quote from Monkey D. Luffy. At the beginning of the East Blue arc, Luffy, Zoro, and Kobe, who have defeated Morgan, are eating at a villager's house. At this point, Luffy tells Kobe that he will soon be leaving for Grand Line. Kobe is worried and a little disappointed because he just made friends, but they have to part soon. He wants to become a marine, while Luffy and Zoro, his new friends, want to become pirates and will go to Grand Line. Then Luffy said this to Kobe.
We are going our separate ways, but we will always be friends.
5. Quote from Jinbei. After the end of the Marineford War and the death of Ace and Whitebeard in Calm Belt, Isle of Woman, Luffy, depressed over losing Ace, keeps hurting himself. Jinbei tells him to stop, but Luffy attacks him instead. Jinbei beats Luffy and reminds Luffy that he still has something left. Jinbei says this to Luffy.
It may be hard right now, but you must silence those thoughts. Stop counting only those things that you have lost. What is gone forever. Try to remember what you still have.
6. Quote from Shanks. In Fuchsia Village, at the beginning of the One Piece story, Luffy is upset that Shanks and his crew are being insulted by the mountain bandit Higuma in the bar. Luffy attacks Higuma and eventually becomes a hostage. Just as Luffy is about to be killed by Higuma, Shanks and his men arrive. Shanks asks Higuma to let Luffy go and says to Higuma and his men,
You can spill drinks on me, even spit on me. I'll just laugh about it. But if you dare to hurt my friends, I won't forgive you.
7. Quote from Monkey D. Luffy. At the beginning of the East Blue arc, Luffy meets Kobe, who is a cabin boy on Alvida's pirate ship. Luffy tells Kobe about his dream of becoming a pirate king. Kobe is shocked and says that his dream is impossible and the way to get there is very difficult and full of dangers. Then Luffy said this to Kobe.
I've set myself to become the king of pirates, and if I die trying, then at least I tried.
8. Quote from Don Quixote, Rosinante. During a flashback in the Dressrosa arc, Rosinante, who is a double agent for the Marine and the Don Quixote family, is accidentally exposed by Virgo, who is also a double agent for the Don Quixote family and has infiltrated the Marine. Rosinante is beaten up by Virgo and temporarily escapes with Law. Rosinante, who had been hiding, realized the situation and realized that there was no way out. He was aware that he would soon die and put on a funny face, smiling broadly in front of Law and uttering an inner monologue.
If you ever look back on your memories of me, I want you to remember my smile.
9. Quote from Monkey D. Dragon. In the post-Marine Ford War story, in flashback of Three Brothers, Goa Kingdom, in the Grey Terminal, during the fight between Little Ace and Dayton versus Blue Jim. In another part of the Grey Terminal, people who have lost hope of rescue are helped by Dragon and his members. Dragon welcomes people to join him. At that time, Ivankov, one of Dragon's colleagues, asked about the Kingdom of Goa, if he had any connection with it. Dragon replied,
This country is like a smaller scale version of this world's future. There can be no happiness in a world where those deemed unnecessary are weeded out and eliminated. One day, I will change this world. You mark my words. Even a rotten land like this can still produce innocent children.
10. Quote from Dr. Hiraluk. This quote is one of the legendary quotes from the One Piece series. This quote is very beautiful, poetic, and has a deep meaning. Because of the beauty of these words, you can often find them on various items such as t-shirts, portraits, books, and others. This quote fits very well with the person who said it, because even though he is dead, his words still resonate and keep him alive in people's memories. The person who said it was Dr. Hiraluk. Dr. Hiraluk was a quack doctor from Drum Island, as well as Tony Chopper's father figure. Let's hear the quote. Dr. Hiraluk, one of the two doctors who does not want to be under the authority of the King of Wapol and the Drum Kingdom and is considered a criminal, was provoked by the false report spread by Wapol that 20 of Wapol's personal doctors being seriously ill. Hiraluk comes to the castle and finds that he was deceived by Wapol and that the 20 doctors are obviously not sick. Hiraluk is grateful for this. Hiraluk refuses to be shot by the king's soldiers and says he will die soon. Then Hiraluk says,
When does a man die? Is it when he's shot in the heart with a pistol? No. When he is stricken with a deadly disease? No. When he eats soup made from a deadly mushroom. No. It is when he is forgotten.
Those are 10 of the many quotes from One Piece series. We hope these quotes will be useful for you. Thank you for watching, and see you in next video.